skin. You know I love your brown skin. At first you had a complex about your complexion. Then I had to remind you that you're nothing less than perfection. Your brown skin is within. Just look at your reflection. People look at you and are perplexed and wondering how your melanin looks like success and no imperfections. Just look at your honey dripping from your neck and cinnamon sprinkled all the way down to your feet. Like Hershey kissed you on the cheek. Suntan in the wintertime. People kill to be sun-kissed at all times. Baby, you're perfect. Brown skin. You know I love your brown skin.
But that's not all.
Can you do this side? This side look crazy. Ow! Boy, you have to do it so hard. Oh. You brushing my hair, or you trying to take my head off?
Have been carrying on a secret romance with landlord Gavin Jones. For police, there's just one way to find out.
Thank you. You're so nice. Good kiss.
Detectives asked
thank you.
Restaurant to answer a few questions.
Yeah, hair.
How long you been seeing this?
I think you're trying to knock me out. I thought you was done. Thank you.
Had a secret relationship with her landlord.
It be your own kids, man.
Last one, then back to the funnies. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this handsome black face?
Thank you.
You're welcome, son. But you know that you are handsome.
Yes.
You are good. Enough. You are a king in your own time. Y'all, I believe this face deserves to live, to be able to tell his children and his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren and his great-great-great-grandchildren how successful of a black man he became. Y'all see that? Giving them double.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey.
I made it. All by myself with some pillows.
Tell me you're raising a preteen or a teenage boy without telling me you're raising a preteen or a teenage boy. I'll go first.
You're literally dog water, bro. You're literally not even trying to guard me. All you're doing is running that same play over and over, not making any progress. Your teammates ain't even trying, bro.
Excuse me. Get off. Don't mind me. I don't mean to interrupt the game.
Oh. That same play, you're not making any progress, Lewis.
They don't even be drinking this.
Bro, every time,
And
bro.
this the good water.
Stiff arm.
Keep it down. Keep it down. You way too loud. I hate to hear sometimes.
Bust what? You somebody mama. You ain't busting nothing.
What's up? What's up? What's up, family? Good evening and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are joining us again for another episode number 3 of the GoodMen Hour, brought to you by Project GoodMen. I am LeVar Jones, proud to be the founder and executive director. So glad that you took time out of your schedule to come hang out with us tonight. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that share button so that we can get some friends and family, fans and followers in the virtual building with us to come and hang out. We got a dope show tonight. We are celebrating boy moms, and I got some amazing queens. Bow to the queens. We got some amazing queens in the virtual building tonight. And so glad, so glad to have these amazing women here with us tonight. And I'm glad to have you here tonight. Shout out where you coming from, where you checking us out from. I see my girl, Miss Jaleesa, representing Charm City, Baltimore. Let us know where you're coming in from, where you're chatting from. Make sure to hit that share button so that we can get the word out. Project GoodMen is live, baby. We are live. We are live. And we are live because you are here with us on this phenomenal evening. Let me first start off and thank you for those who have been praying for my mom. We got one less guest tonight, the Queen. My mother was supposed to join us, but she's not going to be here with us tonight, but that's all good. We thank God that she is mending. She's recuperating well in the hospital. And I want to just take a moment on behalf of my family and thank you guys for your prayers for Mom. She's getting a lot better, getting a lot stronger. And we definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Miss Marla Smith joining us from Upper Marlboro. I got some youngers that used to sign Upper Marlboro to me. Again, just thankful for each and every one of you joining us tonight. If you had a great day, throw some hearts up, engage. We want you to be engaged in this conversation along with our amazing guests and with our audience right here. Shout out to Project GoodMen parent, Miss Sharon is in the building representing the South Side. She got a 16-year-old, y'all. She got a whole 16-year-old now. Yes, she does. Shout out to Miss Lori checking in from North Carolina. Let's go. We are regional all over the place. Miss Cassandra, another Project GoodMen mom right there in the building representing the South Side. Ward 8, great Ward 8. So glad that you guys are here with us tonight. Speaking of Miss Cassandra, before we go any further, our young men of Project GoodMen are in the process of learning the GoodMen Creed. And Miss Cassandra, this is a surprise for you. Shout out to Miss Cassandra, amazing boy mom, Project GoodMen mom, because here to share virtually the GoodMen Creed is Miss Cassandra's baby boy, Mr. Jared. Listen up.
As a good man, I belong to a supportive village. I believe in my own abilities, and I will become a man of purpose. My steps are ordered, and my path is becoming clear every day. I will take the responsibilities for the power of my choices. I will take responsibilities for caring for my family and also my community. I will take responsibilities for my life and the energy it brings to the world, because that's what good men do.
That's my man JJ right there. Y'all show JJ some love in the chat. Yes, sir. Man, listen, you can't help but be proud and feel that thing well up in you when you hear our young men share in our GoodMen Creed. It is an affirmation that we are having them to learn so that they can embody, they already embody what it means to be a good man from Project GoodMen. I want to also take a moment and shout out some of our amazing partners who helped make Project GoodMen possible. Definitely show some love to Aya Incorporated. They are definitely holding it down for the young women, doing amazing things with young women at Howard, on the campus of Howard University, but also high school young women here in the DMV area. Shout out to the family of the Black Advancement Coalition, who is strategically supporting our Storyteller Initiative, where we're working with 3 young brothers, amazing young men who are helping to tell the story of our Project GoodMen good men. And shout out last but not least to Emotions Brand, my little brother Kimarte, who's doing amazing work. They're doing community service and fashion and merchandising. And they actually have an event coming up on March the 21st that I want to just share. We'll post that again on our page, but make sure to support the pop-up shop, support not only Emotions Brand, but all of these other local and Black-owned businesses that are there as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gotta make sure we get all of the commercials in before we get into the business at hand. That's right. That's right. Miss Wendy showing JJ some love. We appreciate it. Aunt Marcy jumping in, showing JJ some love. Their meeting the first time was hilarious, by the way. I just want to say that. But we show JJ some love. Definitely a shout out to Miss Cassandra for being an amazing Project Good Men mom. All right. I think I got everything. I'm going to get a producer one of these days. I ain't got to do all this by myself. What else do I need to let you know? Make sure to follow us at Project Goodman across all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you stay up to date with what's going on with Project Goodman by visiting our website, www.projectgoodman.org. You can sign up for our newsletter. And while you are there, you can also donate to support our work. You can use Cash App, $ Project Goodman. We would appreciate your donations. Even tonight, I'm believing that somebody's going to invest in this good ground while we are having this dynamic conversation tonight. But you can also visit our website at www.projectgoodman.org and hit the yellow donate button to invest in our work. We got some more comments and love in the box. Really not, though. God bless you for all right. You know, when you start doing this stuff and you get out there with the people, you run into all sorts of people. So God bless you. Praise Philemon. We pray for your healing. Yes, in Jesus' name. Amen. So we've got some amazing guests in the waiting in the wings. And I'm gonna just go ahead and bring these phenomenal women in because I'm so excited that they are here, and they have known me throughout a huge span of my life. So I'm gonna start from the earliest and work my way up. So my little sister, Miss Kenise Gardner, is in the building. What's up, Kenise?
Hey guys, I had to take myself off mute. Hey LeVar, what's up, man? My broski.
I mean, all the way. Y'all can't tell. I'm 40. But y'all can't tell. Like, wait, Tabernacle Baptist, 719 Division Avenue, Northeast. Let's go for the Deanwood section of Northeast. With Kenise and I go way back. She is a phenomenal boy mom. She got two of her own. We're gonna show y'all some pictures in a little bit. But Kenise, I'm so glad you could join us tonight.
Thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Definitely.
Nervous, but
oh no, you good. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have a good time tonight. And then right smack dab in the middle is my sister, Miss Marcy Patrick Trueheart in the building. What's up, Marcy?
Hello, my good man. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Despite whatever I could find to complain about, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just glad to be in this space with y'all. I'm glad to be here with y'all.
And we're grateful for you to let us be in this space.
Y'all see how she did that? And did you see her? Did you sign it when you said it? Marcy is a phenomenal interpreter, y'all. She might sign while she's talking tonight. Just know
I'm sitting on my hands right now.
But Marcy and I, we go way back to my Galilee Baptist Church days. She is my forever summer worker. Marcy said she was only going to work with me and fool with me and the youngest for the summer. That was like 20 summers ago.
Yeah, back in 1999.
Yeah, and she's still rocking. And a mom to an amazing young man who I had a chance to watch grow up. And just grateful, sis, that you are here this wonderful evening. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we got Miss Lynette Coles is in the building. What's up, Lynette?
Hey, y'all. What's up? Hey, LeVar. Hey, fellow boy moms. How's everybody?
And Lynette is dope because she is, not only was she an FBR Nation mom when I was at the Boys and Girls Club, but she was one of the first Project Goodman moms to rock with me and say, LeVar, you doing what? Oh yeah, I got you. Let's go. Let's do it again. So I appreciate her. She's an amazing mom. She's a boy mom and a girl mom. So she got them across the spectrum. But y'all show some love for these amazing queens in the building tonight, virtual building. Y'all getting some love. Miss Cassandra, hello, ladies. Y'all getting some love already in the chats right there. People excited and ready to hear all of the great things that we know you all are going to share. And I got some pictures in here somewhere. Let me see. We might have some of that going on. It's Mr. Kale. We might have a little bit of that going on.
Aggie pride up in there. I like it.
You know. Might have a little list going on.
Yes. My baby.
Got a little of that going on. And we got a little of that coming.
Foolishness.
Got a little of that going. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, ma'ams. I am so excited that you all are here with us tonight. And we're going to have a good time. I don't want nobody to be nervous. We're coming to hang out. We're coming to celebrate. And I want to tell you, it was easy, but it was difficult because I'm so blessed to know so many amazing boy moms in my life all over the place. Again, obviously starting with my own, who was so upset that she couldn't be here tonight. And she was trying to figure out how she could get on her phone in the hospital. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to let you rest. We're going to let you rest. But the Queen sends her love, no doubt, and her appreciation for each of you and all the boy moms that are watching. Y'all audience, y'all make sure to drop some love in the chat for the boy moms that you know in your life. Maybe your own boy mom, if we got some sons right there. We got another boy mom showing some love, Miss Adrian, another Project Goodman mom right there. That's a Project Goodman and FBR mom. Y'all rolling in here deep tonight. Shout out to our board treasurer, Brother Larry Poteet, showing love. And that Larry and Kenise and me, that's that Burville love right there. Burville Eagle Pride, baby. Burville Eagle Pride.
All day.
Eagle Pride. All day, every day. Well, listen, let's jump into, we got some questions. I want our audience to know if you got some, we want you to chime in too. Our audience, you can chime in and answer some of these questions as well. But we want to jump in, and I want to ask this first one, and y'all can jump in like you feel. Is motherhood what you thought it would be?
Well, let me tell you, since I got pregnant at an early age and didn't know I was pregnant, I didn't know. I wasn't sure what motherhood was because I wasn't sure what I did. I had to learn what motherhood was. So I'm going to say no.
I got you.
Yeah, that's kind of close
along the way.
That's kind of close to me too, because it wasn't. I hadn't planned at that time. I was fresh out of college. Matter of fact, when I walked across the stage, I was pregnant and didn't know. So it wasn't anything that I had planned on. It's kind of like a roller coaster, right? You see the roller coaster, like, oh, I want to get on it. So before they let you off, they make sure that you got to be strapped in. So to me, motherhood is like a roller coaster. That joint gonna go up, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go round, it's gonna go round, it's gonna hit that corner real fast, it's gonna bring you back in. But as long as you locked in, you're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and roll that back again. So that's how I feel like motherhood is like.
Ooh, motherhood is definitely more than I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely had no clue. I had no clue how much was involved, especially by the time you have multiple kids. My goodness, I wanted one. I knew that I could do one. By the time I did more than one, I said, uh-oh, what I done did. Because it is no joke having yourself, multiple kids to go through life. Never ending. I personally say I have not had sleep since October 13th, 2009, because you literally don't rest. Once you have kids, it's up literally 24/7 until they're grown, and after, even when they're grown, you're still ultimately going and going and going. But it's beautiful. It's life changing. It's everything. I knew it would be that, but I just had no idea to what level. Especially with the more kids that you have, I'm learning that it's just so much differences between one, between two, and so on and so forth.
And I mean, what is amazing about mothers in general, but in Project Goodman Land, we are unapologetically black, and so we appreciate the beauty, the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the amazingness. I made up a word. All of that of black mothers who do all of what you all just said on top of everything else that black mothers have to do, have to deal with, have to endure, not just as mothers. And I know sometimes I've heard that women, may feel like they lose themselves in being a mother. But before you were mothers, you were women, you were entrepreneurs, you were, gifts and talents and skills. You bring all of that to the table. And so I think it's amazing. And I just salute each of you because I know the many ways in which you shine outside of being a mother, but that you also still never let that role diminish in any way. No matter how many other hats you put on, no matter how many other things that you do, you always lift up your role as a mother. And speaking of which, we saw a few pictures. We saw some of the gentlemen, the young men, the young kings active as sons in your lives. I want to catch you with a creative one. If you had to introduce your sons at an event, let's say what was it, the Golden Globes just happened this weekend. You had to introduce them at the Golden Globes. How would you introduce your son or sons in two of y'all cases? Oh, before we let you go, I think there may be some inspiration for one of the mothers in the room. This particular comment that has arisen on the screen from Mr. Marquise Patrick.
Well,
That
you
is
know what?
Marcy's only begotten.
I would introduce him to be ready to be totally amazed and completely charmed by a man of faith, a man of loyalty, and a complete comedian. He will have your heart and he will have you in ease. Introduce the Marquise Patrick.
I agree. I agree with all of the above. Lynette, what about you?
All right, so I would have to put it together, right? Because I got both of them. So my sons are original. Okay. When I say they are original, they are original. They are handsome. They are intellectual. They are leaders. They are blessed and loved by the Lord. They are determined. They are very respectful. They are fun, skillful, strong, and adventurous.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, Kenise, you bringing it up, bringing us home.
Well, I have to combine mine as well. I'll say coming to the stage, you have my oldest, my junior, my top dog. He's handsome. He's respectful. He's super talented. He does it all. He acts. He sings. He raps. He flips. You name it, he can do it. Um, he's He's a man of God, a little boy of God. He loves his family, do anything for them. You also have his little wingman, my youngest baby boy, Trent, who is awesome. He's super smart. He's 5 years old, going on 55. He knows all of the planets. He knows everything. And he is super, super um humorous. He's funny. He's handsome as well. My two little light brights, I love them dearly. They are my heart. They are everything to me. And I love them so much. Welcoming my Trent and TJ, Travis Jr., I'll say.
Nice, nice, nice. I love it. I love it. Y'all show some love for these amazing boy moms in the chat. Shout out again to the boy moms who are watching. For those just tuning in, welcome to the GoodMen Hour brought to you by Project Goodman. Tonight we are celebrating boy moms all over the DMV, celebrating these amazing women who are doing an amazing job. Ladies, what for you, if you had to, and I'm sure there are probably many, what is the greatest joy of being a mom to a black boy, or Marcy, in your case, to a black man?
Um, it's the just knowing that my black man is a part of society, which makes it better. Um, I don't have to worry about somebody coming and telling me he's the trigger finger. I don't have to worry about somebody coming and tell me he's beating on women. I know if anything, he's a lover. But to know that I produce somebody who has integrity, who is loyal, who has values and morals, that alone makes you feel warm on the inside on any given day. So just a few.
Kenise, what about you? What's the greatest joy of being a mom to black boys?
I say the greatest joy is just watching them blossom into, mines are still young, just watching them grow up to be young men in society, and making sure just watching their personalities change. Like some years he has more of my traits. He grows up and kind of started having more of my husband's traits, and just kind of merging them all together and just seeing a whole new being from what my husband and I combine into and what we produce, and just seeing that blossom, and also just raising them to be respectful, and to be upstanding young men, making sure that they can hold their own in society, making sure that they can, that they looking out for their people, looking out for their family, looking out for their friends, being humble, young put together young men, respectable, definitely respectable, making sure you respect yourself, making sure you respect others, all of those things that you just want to make sure you instill in your kids. I think that's the best thing that comes out of this, out of your kids growing up.
Lynette, what about you?
So I love that I heard that word integrity, because that is a word that I use in my house every day, multiple times. You have to have integrity. It's what you're doing when nobody's watching is what counts. And when you're taught and you portray what you're taught, I think it's one of the greatest feelings as a parent, to see your child, even if they're not in your presence. You get feedback from others that they're around. Man, I love the way you have raised your child. They're so respectful. They listen. They get along, so it's just knowing that you have taught them. And then when they go out and they're not around you, it's still the same person. You don't have to go out and try to sneak and do something when your parent is not around, because you've been taught to be yourself. You've been taught to have that integrity. You've been taught to be honest and respectful. So that's a great joy to have. Also seeing them deal with challenges, because we all deal with challenges. And so to see your child deal with challenges and try to, figure their way through and overcome them is definitely a blessing, because life is not easy. And so when you can see them at a young age start figuring out how to maneuver through life, sometimes with you, sometimes without you, it definitely just brings a sense of joy. And of course, the endless love that you get from your children brings joy.
Yeah, no, I think that's dope. And listen, that thing don't change when you turn 40. When you right around that age, get into it, and then when you get a little bit older, the height thing switches up. It ain't that much height difference though, but it's that same sense of joy. Even now, hearing my mom tell me, that she's proud of me at 40, almost 41. That's a validation that if don't nobody else in this world ever say, LeVar, I'm proud of you, I see you, I got you. Long as I got God and my mama, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And so I know if that's bringing you that type of joy, it's definitely reciprocating in the lives of your sons as well. I do know though, because I have been a son of a mother, that we it ain't always real nice. It's not always it's not always the best of joy. It's not always joy that we bring into your lives. It's not always greatness and smiles and sunshine that we bring into your lives. There are, I'm sure, some days where you start scratching your head and asking yourself, what in the world did I get myself into? How have your sons challenged you?
Woo!
I'll let whoever want to take that one first can jump in. How have the boys challenged you?
I will last.
Well, okay. Since my son was he was 14 and probably 5'9", 6 feet, probably. Now one thing, he wasn't a bad child because I was a crazy mother. Oh, and he wasn't a bad child, but
I remember that.
Yeah, but when you can tower over your mother in your teenage years, every now and again you'll get out of pocket. You get out of pocket. I remember this one particular time that he decided he wanted to throw the remote control. Oh, come. I said, oh, okay.
And he's still alive? That's grace and mercy.
Oh, I not let it go. I let it go. Oh, you want to throw the remote control? Oh, okay. I went on about my day. The next morning, this is doing when only one person can have cable in the room, and I had cable in my room. So I had to sit next to him and be like, and very calm, very collective, but very meaningful. Next time you throw a remote, and there was another word after that. Now you go and you have yourself a great day. I love you. You throw no remote stick.
Something about the quiet response, I think, yields more than sometimes the loud one.
Yeah, because getting loud takes no effort. Staying calm, being easy, and giving you this monotone voice. You never know what time the storm is coming.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because my mother would give me that in the morning, and I knew, my mama used the belt. We ain't gonna get into a whole debate on folks, choose choices and stuff about that. You do what worked for your family. My mama did what worked for hers. But she would tell me in the morning, and then wait hours. I done gone about the day and forgot all about the morning and the dumb thing that I did. Around about that evening hour, here she come, little short self, So it works. It works. Because some of those things she corrected it. She ain't never had to correct them again. What else has challenged you all as moms?
That's funny. Because I remember one particular situation with Makai at school. So Makai is the one that'll try me mostly at the schoolhouse. Mikhail is the one that'll try me mostly at home. So Makai would continuously I don't know, he just would have his way at school, right? So I would send my grandmother up there. I would call my grandmother and say, hey, Makai's having another day. Grandma will pack her lunch. She'd go to the school the next day and sit up there with him, the whole day of school. So the next day, Makai bring it on back, because he don't want great grandma to come back and sit with him. He'll bring it on back. Then the next day, he'll bring it on back. Then the next day, he'll forget again. So I just remember that one time I got that phone call and I'm like, look, I'm so tired of this phone call. So I walked up to the school. I had the belt in my hand. They said, "Oh, not here." I said, "Oh, okay. Let me sign them out real quick. We're gonna go to the car and we're gonna have a little talk and we're gonna walk and we're gonna come back and everything is gonna be okay." So, we definitely have used the belt in the household. Now, Mikhail, that's the same thing he tries with the height, because he thinks he's taller than me. But that don't matter because the taller you go, that just means the higher my uppercut got to hit, right? So the main thing with him is he's at that age. So that's the age where they think they know everything regardless of what you're saying. So they're listening to you, but they're not really listening to you because they want to do what they're going to do on their own. But in the end, it's kind of like they're going to come back to you and be like, "Well, dad, you were right." At the end of the day, they coming back and like, "Well, I should have listened," or "You were right." So it's kind of like at that teenager know-it-all stage. And then that preteen, I'm gonna feel my way around and see how far off the ledge I can go.
See, Miss Sharon over here telling stories now. She says you had the belt on the football field.
I had that belt everywhere, man. It worked for me. Hey, it's gonna work for mine.
Kenise, what about you? What were some of the what challenged you as a mom?
I would say just making sure that you stick to your discipline. The disciplinary part was always a challenge for me because I can fuss, but when I have to take action, I am not like the Clark the belt, like I'm just not that girl. I will spank them, but it was like more of the discipline part that I struggled with. Trying to stick to my guns because with moms, they know how far you can go, how much you can test them sometimes without getting on punishment. All of those types of things, I struggled with that for a while. I still kind of do. Also, kind of with my oldest, he's very he asks a lot of questions and he wants to know a lot of things, and a lot of times it's a struggle trying to not to just make sure that I'm well aware of what I'm telling him, and really honestly just making sure that he gets good information from me. I also have to make sure that we talk more. That's a lot of things we don't really do with our kids as much as we should. Sometimes just communicate, sit down and talk about what's going on with you. How's your day going? We're so consumed with motherhood, with work, with whatever, and a lot of times I have to stop what I'm doing and chime into them more. That was a struggle for me as well, and just making sure that as they get older, that they're that they're just not testing me because I'm mom. Because of course I have my struggles with just making sure I stay consistent with things. Like you're not doing this, you're doing that. Give me that phone. But then I'm like, oh, now he's gonna get on my nerves all day. But I have to do that and stick to it and know that these are things that you need. I'm doing this for you, and he knows it. My oldest knows it. My youngest, he doesn't he doesn't have any phones or anything like that. But he tests me all the time as well. But that's the challenges of motherhood. They try to get over on you all the time. You're just trying to keep up with them, honestly. So.
I mean, I love like everything that you all said. I mean, fits into I think what makes dynamic mothers, because it's that balance of tough love and discipline, because that's what's going to keep them when they run into situations. They'll remember, one, somebody's holding you accountable to the values and the morals that we set as a family, things that are important to us. Somebody's holding you accountable for that. And so, yeah, I'm going to be watching, and I expect you to live up to the standard that we set for our family and in our house. And there are consequences if you don't. But if they don't learn that lesson now, if they don't learn it in the house, Marquise, now at 32, wouldn't be the man he is if he hadn't learned it when he was 12, if he hadn't learned it when he was 14, because now he knows and understands that that's how life works. That's how life works as well. I want to bring Akil's comment. Akil is our director of member engagement. Marcy Medical, he was on with her and the great people over at the McAllister Foundation. Akil said communication and relationship is so important. Vulnerability is important too. I commend you all. And it does. It takes that right balance. And the fruit always speaks the truth about the tree. And I think that's part of what led me to ask you all in particular, because watching your boys, watching your young men, like the fruit speaks about the tree. It shows, the type of home that you have created and the type of environment you created for your son. We talked about challenges that you all have faced, but we all know that there are also challenges that are out of our control. The times in which we live in, have become increasingly terroristic for young Black men. And, whether it is violence at the hands of law enforcement officers who don't look like us, whether it is unresolved anger and issues that leads to intra-community violence, caused by poverty and lack of opportunities and lack of jobs and lack of direction and lack of programs, whatever it is, we know that there are external challenges that our boys face. For you, what has been the greatest external challenge you've had to battle? Because one thing I will say about moms in general, Black mothers in particular, y'all are battle. I saw this in my mother, just about at 5 foot tall. Don't you get on the wrong side of her and her baby boy. And I'm talking Linda Jones, even with the little red walker. She would often remind me, tell your coworkers that when I was at different places and folks would do me wrong, she said, tell them I can come up there on the walker now. Don't let me pop up on the walker. So there are all of these things outside of your control that impact the lives of your sons. What has been the greatest external challenge that you have faced or feared or been challenged with as it relates to raising your boys?
I can go first. I'll say I'll go into a little detail. So my youngest, he's 5. He was diagnosed with autism when he was 2.5. And I'll say that just watching him grow up, it's my duty to make sure that ultimately as he gets older that he can function on his own. So with all of the things going on in the world, my first thought is, how will he function? How will he deal with law enforcement? How will he know how to operate, in this scenario, and actually come out of it safely? All of these things that I have to do to ensure that he can function outside of me. If something was to happen to me or my husband today or tomorrow, how, can he deal in life? And so basically I try to just make sure that he gets, like, he goes to therapies, he gets so many different things just for normal days. But, I also ultimately have to, that's my job, to make sure that he can function and grow up and know what life is really like outside of our home. All of the different things that Black men grow up. He can grow up to be 6 feet and he can be a sweet boy, but he's still a Black man in America. So I have to really factor that in, which is super scary. My oldest, we try to work on those types of things, but really make sure that you can hold your own outside of our home, making sure that you can stand up in the face of adversity, and just making sure that they are equipped with the right things outside of us, because we can only do so much. After a certain point, they have to carry on and deal with certain things that we really can't do anything about. So that's kind of, my spill on it all.
So at the beginning, before we came on, or no, once we came on, one of the phrases that you said, LeVar, is that we are unapologetically Black. And our culture is strong, our culture is bold, and that's without even opening up our mouths and saying anything. And so it's just teaching them, that to be yourself. You're going to work with people that look like you. You're going to work with people that don't look like you. You're going to be around people that are on your level. You're going to be around people that are intimidated by you because of the level that you're on. But as long as, you're able to speak up for yourself, as long as you're able to stand on your own 2 feet, as long as you're able to reach out to those in your village when you need them, as long as you know that your mother has your back, whether you're right or you're wrong. If you right, I got your back. If you wrong, I still have your back, but we're going to correct whatever it is that was wrong. And so just, building them up in a sense to not live in fear. They're not in the school buildings and things right now, but they don't know that I have prayer cloths that I would fold up and put them in their book bag. So when they will leave out, they're covered. Having them in the routine of praying, learning how to pray for themselves, learning how to pray for those around them. And also the educational piece. As it relates, to like learning how to manage your finances and your credit and things like that. I mean, we get into these things where, as soon as you turn 18, like you got to move out, you got to be on your own. As long as we educate and we prepare them to be on their own, it makes a difference as they're growing up.
Well, as a mother of a 32-year-old, things are different. Things are different than they were in his teenage years. The racism wasn't as blatant as it was blatant, but it wasn't really shown. But as him being a grown man, it's just the everyday fear of any mother of a Black young man. If he gets stopped by the police, if that police officer hasn't taken his meds today, and all you see is a young Black man in a nice car, and you haven't been on your meds. I know my son is he's very helpful. So when he goes to help someone, maybe that is not a Black woman, and they take it the wrong way, the first thing they can say is something out of the way. When because my mother taught me, I have to hold the door for women or people, but women especially. But we know how that can be misconstrued. But that fear is always there. And he's out of my house. He's paying his own bills. But as a mother, you still gonna fear, especially if a Black man, you're still gonna fear once he leaves his house, what somebody else fears of him in their mind.
Yeah. I mean, again, at 40, was still check in, with my mom, and just out of respect for understanding that that's where her mind may be, just wondering and making sure, that I'm good. Again, not that it's a thing of doubting something that I'm doing, but then, just not being able to be in control of everybody else. And I salute every mother that's watching this or will watch this at whatever point, because you all bear that burden so much, and you all, we are where we are because mothers and grandmothers and aunties and Miss Bernice up the street prayed for us, prayed over us. I would wake up sometimes in the morning, forehead just all greased up. I'm like, was I sweating grease in the middle of the night? And then understood it was my mother or my grandmother when she was staying with us, praying over me, to cover me. And, I think it's a thing, Kill talked about not living in fear and using common sense. I want to acknowledge the fact that as we do that and as we live in that space, that the hearts of Black mothers every day, every time they leave out the door, every time they walk, to every time that they're away or they make a choice or they move and they live their lives, all of those questions begin, to come into your minds. And we know, far too many mothers of sons in general, not even just, black mothers, but mothers of sons. I'm thinking we talk about, not necessarily just mothers of black boys, but thinking of the mother of Matthew Shepard, the young man who, I can't remember the year, it was years ago, who was beaten senselessly because he was gay. And they left this boy strapped onto a fence with barbed wire, and what that mother had to have experienced in that space. Then mothers after that who may have had sons who were gay to have that fear, in their minds of not knowing if someone else was going to see their son as a threat. And particularly for mothers of black boys, that's a real thing. Is somebody going to see my son as a threat? Are they going to see him as a problem? Are they going to see him? Are they going to pull the infamous line, "I feared for my life"? And that's why I responded the way that I did. So it's definitely something we honor those mothers who who are the victims of somebody else making a terrible choice and seeing their son, as a threat, seeing their son as something that he was not. And that's Project GoodMen's whole goal, is to create safe space for young brothers to belong, so that families can know that there's another layer of support wrapped around them. And this is a good time, again, just to thank again our audience for joining us tonight for the third episode of the GoodMen Hour. We are celebrating boy moms with these amazing, amazing mothers here, all good friends of my family. And so appreciative of them being here. And I told them earlier I had a surprise for them. And I also shared across our social media that we had a special announcement. Well, this might be a pretty good time to go ahead and throw the announcement up on the screen. Should we do it now? Should we do it later? Oh, let's just go ahead and do it now. Yeah, I'm gonna let you take a minute and just soak up all of that. Oh, yeah, I see the people watching already like, oh, I want that. Special edition Project GoodMen hoodies will be on sale Monday, March the 8th. You can visit www.projectgoodmen.org on Monday, March the 8th to place your, oh, look at them hearts popping up on the screen. They clamoring already. Yep, go ahead and get them coins, them cards, them dollars ready to go. All proceeds will support the great work of Project GoodMen. And I'm so excited to announce this particular hoodie tonight. And this theme of good men protect Black women. We're going to teach our young men in our program. Good men do many things, but good men for sure protect Black women. And to my lovely ladies joining me tonight, you get a hoodie without even have to go in your purse. You ain't even got to go in your purse. You get a hoodie just for being special and being my guest tonight. From me to you as an appreciation for all that you do, all that you've done in supporting Project GoodMen and supporting me throughout the years. We appreciate you. Look at them already. They're coming. I got you, Miss Adrian, one of our Project GoodMen moms. She's going to be leading up our Project GoodMen parent group. She's ready to go. How do I get it? Hoodies will be on sale Monday, March the 8th. On our website, www.projectgoodmen.org. You can get them there. And we'll also have our solid Black logo Project GoodMen hoodies on sale as well. Again, all proceeds will go to benefit Project GoodMen and the work that we are doing. I want to remind our audience as we are coming around the corner towards the end, if you have questions for these amazing women, please drop your questions. I'm trying to find my little banner. Drop your questions. This is why I need a producer. Drop your questions in the box. There it is. Drop your questions in the box. I got a couple more for our lovely queens. But audience that's watching with us, please make sure to drop your questions in the box. Shout out to Auntie Alice. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. She says she's going to be online ready. We want y'all to be like the Smithsonian. Y'all remember when the Blacksonian opened Anybody try to get passes to get into the Smithsonian of Black History? Man, you would have thought we were trying to get Nikes or Jordans or something else. But we want y'all waiting on Monday just for that. So I want to ask you all, I know, and I know somewhat the answer to this question. Again, I have the privilege of knowing these amazing queens, but sometimes being a mother to your own makes you a de facto mom to about 50, 11 other little boys who come running along with your own sons. How have you managed, enjoyed, been challenged by that asset of being a boy mom, that you are not only really boy mom to, just the ones that you birthed, but you sometimes end up being boy mom or boy auntie to these other young men? What are some of those experiences been like for you?
I'll go ahead and go first on this one. So, I would like to say first, I love it because the statement, it takes a village, it truly takes a village. And so when I open my doors and open my heart and my wallet to everybody, it's almost like not because I want you to do it back, but because I know that we are all in this together. And so I would like someone to be as open with my son as I am with your son, because we all need each other. We need to get back to the era where if your child is outside, the next door neighbor can say something to your child and they get on your child and you get on your child when you get home, not you're getting on the adult that says something to your child. And so I think that'll bring us back, to a sense of community. And so both of my sons are into sports. And I was dragged into being the sports mom, the team mom, years on top of years on top of years. And I remember one year, Mikhail was like, I'm going to my coach's house. It was like the coach had lived probably like 2 or 3 blocks away. 30 minutes later, this Bama comes back home. Not only was he not alone, he had about 8 or 9 of his teammates knocking on the door. At this point, we had only lived in the apartment. He had about 8 or 9 of his friends. I thought they were spending the night at the coach house. They ended up at my house, and it was a Saturday night. So you know what happens Sunday morning? We go to church. So I want to let y'all know before you spend the night, when you wake up in the morning, you got to go to church with us too. And I had my car. I have a car, a 4-door car, Honda Accord. So I was taking them to church in shifts. I say, you be ready at 8. I'm gonna drop this off. You be ready at 8:30. When I come back, I'm gonna drop you off. When church was over, I was shifting them back home. And so I think, I love it because I like to see the growth not only in my sons but those that are around them. And then when you connect, when your sons connect with others, you get to connect with their mothers as well. And it becomes a sisterhood because you, as an adult, as a parent, you need that camaraderie with a like-minded mother, with a fellow mother that sometimes, you just want to say, hey, I can't do it no more. Or, hey, today was a good day. So not only, it's like a double whammy. Not only do you get to, be in someone else's child's life, but you gain, like a sisterhood. That's my sister on the screen, Sharon. We definitely have built that bond. So I love it. If I can call you and say, hey, can you pick up? Can you drop off? Can we do this? Can we do that? Just to know that I have your back and you have mine when it comes to our children, we're going to make it, because it definitely takes a village. Because if I didn't have the village that I have, I couldn't even tell you how I could do this motherhood thing.
Yeah, that's dope. That's real. Marcy, Kenise, what about you all? How have you felt the joys or pressures of being mother to yours plus?
Well, I'll go next. I don't have the same type of. I have it more so as a mom. I taught dance. I dance, so I was more the de facto mom. But with the girls, it's interesting because I taught dance, so I was, kind of in the mix of young girls more than young boys. I mean, my son did play sports here and there, but ultimately, but I do have, friends with sons and nephews, and so I definitely embrace being able to be like a mom or auntie, type of relationship with them, and wanting to know how they're doing in school, making sure that they're not, um, being fresh little boys with, it was like that stick in those books. Make don't know little girls want no little boys that ain't got no scent. So you really can talk to especially once they get a certain age. It's cool to be able to talk to the kids that are around your sons and be able to. You're not real like I'm not that far away from my son. I tell them I'm like I'm very hip. I'm in the mix. I know what's going on. You think I might be old, but I'm not. I'm older than you, clearly. But so it's cool to still be in their mix. But of course, I'm still like old to them. But I'm like, I know everything that you're talking about, sweetie. So it's like that's fun. But like I said, I've been more on the girl side with little girls for so long that it's kind of now that my son is getting older, it's becoming a thing with his friends or cousins are growing up, and I can kind of just feel like that hip auntie, godmommy, um, mom to them as well. So including all the important things, but I want to make sure that they're doing well. But that's the funnest part to me. In the grand scheme of it all, you want them to make sure you want to make sure that they're good, just as your kids are, because like Lynette said, them being in the midst of your kids, you want everybody doing well in the circle, and wanting them to grow up to be, good kids. So.
Well, I'm lucky. My everybody's grown. I'm grandma. I'm mom, auntie, and grandma at this point. It is a complete and utter pleasure. First of all, my son has pretty much it's a large circle, but they are consistent. Like most of his friends, he be like, "Mom, you remember him from 10 years ago?" I know I don't, but okay. So that's a good thing because the consistency has been there. With one of my son's friends, one of my extra children, I work on his nonprofit, Pitt Sports, Robert Pettis. I call him, you're my boss. So and then they call me if they need something, I'll call them if they need something, and I have the pleasure to be called grandma sometimes. And it is a great pleasure to be able to be trusted first by the mothers of these young men, no matter what age, and then by these young men, to be able to trust you to come and talk to you in confidence. And with some of them, they go with your grandmother. I'm like, first of all, do you really want to leave your children with me? Okay, you're crazy. But um but to have that trust, and like I said, my son's circle, one thing about them, they are so faithful and loyal, and those jokers is thick as thieves, and it makes your heart glad because you have raised a person to be in this tight knit community, and it's all family, and it's a joy. It's a joy, even though it's being a mom. Sometimes you got to jack those jokers up, but it's a joy to love up on them. And I feel like I'm aunt. Oh, I'm the number one auntie.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that with even with Maceo. Marcy was mama, auntie to her nephews and cousins and
Yes,
cousins of
and
nephews and
I love when they call me Aunt Marcy, Aunt Marcy. It rings so sweet in my ear. The crazy thing, one of my babies sent me a text message today. He said, "I hadn't heard from you in a while." He said, "I will always love you," and it was just like I had a whole meltdown. But it meant so much to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Marcy got to the point she was even coming to, even in on this latter end of our relationship, she's picking up my youngest now, Brandon. My son who's away in the U.S. Navy. She had to hem Brandon up a couple times, get Brandon on the straight and narrow. JJ, Miss Cassandra Washington, that's Aunt Marcy right there. Marcy had to call him Raspberry Lemonade because he took all the raspberry lemonade from the Young Queens event. Supposed to be for the Young Queens. JJ took all the raspberry lemonade. And Aunt Marcy made sure to know he ain't supposed to drink all the raspberry
Bless his heart. He's such a wonderful, wonderful young man, in spite of.
Nah, but I mean, even thinking about my own mother and how much she. If y'all see me, I'm not going crazy. These little AirPods feel like they're about to fall right out my ears. So I just keep doing. I'm not going deaf. I'm gonna need you to sign to me in a minute, Marcy. But I think about I think about my own mom and the role she played, in being a mom and being a boy mom to other guys, whether it was me and Larry, that Burville crew, that Burville / Palmer Park dance crew, me and Larry and Kevin and Ryan, who would be at my house hanging out, and she would come and she would be mom. She would be mom. I tell the story all the time, and Kanice may remember. We would be at Burville during the aftercare program. This is before they got fancy and called the after school, the aftercare program. And one of my friends, one of my brothers, Kevin Goodwine, his mother was Aunt Peaches. Everybody called her Aunt Peaches. Now, Aunt Peaches was one of them mothers who had vocal range. She had volume, great volume. And if you know anything about Burville Elementary School, which by far is the greatest elementary school in all of DC. I know there's a Houston mom in the mix. I ain't gonna say too much, but Burville was one of the greatest. And Burville, you would come into the cafeteria, and then there was that dividing wall that could move, that was open, and then there was the gym. So in the after school, the thing would be closed and we'd be in the gym. So Kevin's mom would typically come towards the end of the day, and there would be somebody, she'd say, go get Kevin. And a couple minutes go by and Kevin hadn't showed up. And all of a sudden, all of Washington, D.C. heard Kevin, and I ain't gonna put his whole government out there, but she did with his whole government name. He had two middle names. Kevin, get in here. When I tell you, little youngers whose name was nowhere near Kevin started running to the front just in case it was their mother calling. So I think about moments like that. All the mothers who've been mothers to me, in addition to my mom, and just how dope and amazing you all are. As we wrap up, I just have one more question to sort of end. And again, for our audience, if you have a question and want to throw in there real quick, we might have time to grab one or two. What do you wish? What's your wish? What's your hope for your son's future? There's so much going on in this world that we live in today. Crazy things, but some amazing things happening as well. What's your wish? What's your hope for your son's future?
Mine is very plain and simple. Whatever the desires of my son's heart is, I pray that they come to pass.
Love it. Love it.
I'll say, I just want my sons to grow up, be happy, be upstanding, be loyal, have integrity, like you guys said. I want them to have families. I really want a grand. I do. And so I want them to just grow up and have big families, because I don't have a big old family. It's just two of them, and it's gonna be two of them. But I want them to be happy, and definitely be able to be financially independent, be able to function, have their own families, do well, have nice careers, and prosper in life.
Yes, I definitely pray the God's covering. I pray that wealth, health, mental stability, love, wealth, and all the blessings that God can give him and handle. That's what I pray for all the time.
I love it. I love it. My last one for you, and I'm going to throw up their social. We encourage you to reach out to our boy moms, get connected with them. Let's build a community around every great and wonderful thing that we can connect on. What do you want the world to know that you don't think that they know about boy moms? How can the world put some respect on your names as boy moms?
Woo.
We are relentless because we have to juggle because we have to think like a man in some of these situations. If we don't have a male companion there, we have to think like a man, but we also have to be hard enough to raise a young man, but soft enough so when he goes to find a woman, you won't find somebody who's just always mean and angry. You seen your mother being a disciplinarian, but you also seen her being soft and fluffy, and she smell good, and her hair is nice. So you have to learn how to have that relentless balance.
Love it. Love it. Lynette, what do you want the world to know about boy moms?
Woo! What do I want the world to know about boy moms? That they are always going to be there no matter what, no matter who tries to push them away, no matter how much anything in society tries to separate. In the shadow of a man, his mama is always going to be there and have his back.
Love it. Love it. All right, Miss Kanice, you bring us on home.
I want to say everything that these ladies just said. Absolutely. We are always going to be there no matter what. And we're just lit. We do it all and we make it look good. We just do. We make it look good. We don't make, I mean, it's not easy, but we kind of make it look easy. We do what we have to do and pop out when it's time to pop out and look good. And we're going to make sure that things like it's second nature for us to just be to do it. We don't have to think about it. It's in us. We just know. We know how to move. We know what you're thinking. We know when you're not thinking. We know so much more than we realize that we know. So I think we're just lit. We just make it look good, and we're gonna continue to do that. And we're just it. Period.
I like what Kanice said. She said we make it look easy. We definitely make it. It's not, but we definitely make it look like it's real easy. So don't try to copy us.
And this is not for the weak at heart. Raising boys to be men is not for the weak at heart. Because that's how you rate. Yeah. Okay, that's another show. That's another show.
I'm not bad. I think about the movie 300 when they were talking about the Spartan women and how strong the Spartan women, the legend of the Spartan women, that the women were just about as strong, if not stronger, than the men. And that it took a strong Spartan woman to birth a Spartan man. And so I think, for me, mothers, Black mothers in particular, y'all the closest thing to God walking on the face of this earth. And I am so blessed, so grateful, so thankful that I am in the company of so many amazing boy moms, but in particular, my good sister friends, Kanice, Lynette, and Marcy. And thank you all. You have definitely enriched us tonight. You have enriched our time together. Y'all show some love to these amazing ladies. Thank you for taking out your time. I tell people all the time, Time is the greatest gift that you can ever give because you cannot get it back. Ain't no receipt in the world that'll let you get it back. And so you didn't have to, but you did. And from my heart to yours, I thank you and I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's show the ladies some love. Let's show them some love. I'm gonna slide them into the backstage. They got to go to the green room in the VIP section for just one moment as we wrap up tonight. I want to again thank you, family, for joining us for episode number 3 of the GoodMen Hour. And just remind you, we are here every first Tuesday of the month. And I want to announce a couple of things, couple of quick announcements. We're going to do a youth takeover of the GoodMen Hour. That's going to be on Instagram starting next month, every first Friday. So stay tuned for that. Our young men are going to take over, bring out my young boy, Akil, who's director of member engagement for Project GoodMen, and let the young, I ain't young no more, so I'm going to let the youngins run with it and be able to share. But every first Tuesday of the month, we are back here. And just so you see it there, next month, we will be talking about kingmakers, and I'm so glad to invite and have my brothers join us. We're going to be talking about teachers, educators, leaders, and inspiration. Got my little brother Quentin, who's teaching in Brooklyn, New York. My good brother Denal, who's teaching down in Atlanta, GA, and right here from Washington, D.C., my good brother Dwayne Cozy, who will be joining us as well. So glad that we will be doing that. So mark your calendars, Tuesday, April the 6th at 6 p.m. We will be discussing kingmakers for the next GoodMen Hour, and stay tuned for the promotional information about the team takeover of the GoodMen Hour on that first Tuesday of April as well. And just to wrap up, last thing, yes, sir, take one more look at it. Take one more look at it right there. Hoodies, our Project GoodMen hoodies, and the special edition. Can't get them nowhere else. GoodMen Protect Black Women special edition hoodies will all be on sale Monday, March the 8th. You can visit our website, www.projectgoodmen.org at 12 noon. Excuse me, on Monday, March the 8th, 12 noon. You can visit our website, projectgoodmen.org, to pick up your very own hoodie. You don't want to miss it. There was a quick question I wanted to grab, and let me get some of these comments. I think it was Miss Shantae. I saw your question. You were asking about how we are. You got a 14-year-old. Miss Shantae, make sure to reach out. Send me an email, info@projectgoodmen.org. 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 Our ladies getting some love. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Another one of our Project GoodMen moms right there. This was excellent. Great job, everyone. Love this segment. Ladies, was awesome. I think it was Miss Shantae who asked how we were operating during COVID. So we are virtual. Safety is number one for us. We are virtual. Our programming kicked off 2 weeks ago. There it is. Miss Shantae asked, how is our program operating during COVID? We, again, are operating virtually right now. We actually have a session coming this Thursday. Our young men and our adult men meet every other Thursday at 6:30 using the Zoom platform. So, Ms. Shantae, please, again, reach out to us, info@projectgoodmen.org, info@projectgoodmen.org. Aunt Alice said, relentless. I love it. Relentless. Boy moms are relentless. Was so excited to get this segment. Listen, family, we appreciate you so much. Make sure to follow us at Project GoodMen across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure that you visit us at projectgoodmen.org. And make sure, if you feel so led, be a blessing to the work that we are doing and give a financial donation. Whatever you give, $5, $50, $500, $5,000, whatever you have to give, it will go to build this program so that we can make the type of impact on young men that we want to make and change the trajectory of their lives. We so appreciate each and every one of you. You're so welcome, Ms. Shantae. I hope to hear from you. I'm a night owl, so feel free to send that email tonight, info@projectgoodmen.org, so that we can reach back out to you and be in touch and get you connected to get you connected with our team. I want to thank you all again for coming out tonight. Remember, Tuesday, April the 6th, we'll be back here across all social media platforms, 6 p.m. as we dig into Kingmakers and talk with some of the amazing educators doing great work in the lives of our young men. On behalf of the Project GoodMen family, from our heart to yours, we wish you a wonderful and a blessed evening, and we'll see you next month.
As a good man, I belong to a supportive village. I believe in my own abilities, and I will become a man of purpose. My steps are ordered, and my path is becoming clear every day. I will take the responsibilities for the power of my choices. I will take responsibilities for caring for my family and also my community. I will take responsibilities for my life and energy it brings to the world, because that's what good men do.